cannot all succeed when half of us are held back. So, without waiting further, I would like to call our speaker, Ms. Lakshita Sharma, student of BSc Mathematics Honours from Lakshmibai College, University of Delhi. She has opted for this marvelous and deep topic at the same time, that is abortion, history, legislation, and unresolvable conflicts. The stage is all yours, Ms. Lakshita. Over to you.
Thank you, Priyanka. जहां नारी को अधिकार नहीं, वह कैसी दुनियादारी है। देश बढ़ेगा आगे कैसे जब पीछे हमारी नारी है। सदियों से जो छिड़ी थी जंग अधिकारों की, वह आज भी जारी है, वह आज भी जारी है। A very good evening to everyone. I am Lakshita Sharma, student of BSc Mathematics Honours from Lakshmibai College, University of Delhi, and I wholeheartedly welcome all of you to 81st GSTS on the topic abortion, its history, legislation, and unresolvable conflicts. The objectives of the session includes history of abortion practices in the past, the major events and practices. Next objective, analyzing the methods medicine employed along with people's attitude towards the practice. Next objective, when and where arises this need to legalize abortion. Next, I'll be evaluating laws in different countries and the points made for abortion. Lastly, I'll be highlighting the important movement that have curbed these laws. So why I chose this topic? The reason is very simple. As I am a woman and I have the right to choose what I want for my body, and I must ensure my personal liberty, and I would live in a country that provides me my personal liberty. And recently, United States में women nationals की इसी personal liberty पर question mark लगाया है by overturning the 1973 landmark decision of Roe versus Wade on the issue of abortion. So what is this Roe versus Wade case? So back in 1973, the court had ruled in Roe versus Wade that pregnant women were entitled to an abortion during the first 3 months of their pregnancy, while allowing for legal restrictions and bans in the second and third trimester. Have you ever thought that there can be a history of abortion? So for your question, yes, there is a history of abortion, and let me take you towards this. The practice of induced abortion has been known since ancient times. Techniques like abortifacient herbs, application of abdominal pressure, and use of sharpened elements were employed to perform abortion. If we talk particularly about pre-modern era, तो प्री मॉडर्न एरा में वैदिक और स्मृति लॉज जो थे इंडियन पीपल के, वो ये बताते हैं कि पीपल वर सो कंसर्न्ड टू प्रिजर्व द मेल सीड ऑफ अपर 3 castes. There were religious courts who impose punishment on women and priests who provide abortion. The only evidence of death penalty for abortion in the ancient laws was found in Assyrian law circa 1075 BCE. और सबसे पहला रिकॉर्डेड एविडेंस हमें अबॉर्शन का मिला इजिप्शियन आइबर्स पेपायरस इन 1550 BCE. नॉन सर्जिकल मेथड्स जो यूज किए जाते थे उस टाइम अबॉर्शन इंड्यूस करने के लिए, उसमें आते थे हमारे स्ट्रेनुअस लेबर, क्लाइंबिंग, पैडलिंग, वेट लिफ्टिंग और डाइविंग टू परफॉर्म अबॉर्शन. अदर देन दीज फिजिकल मेथड्स, देयर वाज यूज ऑफ irritant leaves, fasting, bloodletting, pouring hot water onto the abdomen and lying on a heated coconut shell. Archaeological discoveries भी हमें ये बताती हैं कि अर्ली सर्जिकल अटेम्प्ट्स होते थे अबॉर्शन को इंड्यूस करने के लिए और फीटस को एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के लिए, बट दीज सर्जिकल अटेम्प्ट्स वर नॉट मेंशन्ड इन एनी एंशिएंट मेडिकल टेक्स्ट. 8th सेंचुरी का एक संस्कृत टेक्स्ट है जो इंस्ट्रक्ट करता है वुमेन को टू induce an abortion, that she should sit over a pot of steamed or stewed onions. A temple in Angkor Wat, Cambodia, dated circa 1105, also depicts a demon performing an abortion upon a woman who has been sent to the underworld. Now coming to Greco-Roman world. ग्रीको-रोमन वर्ल्ड में जो मेथड्स एंड प्रैक्टिसेस यूज किए जाते थे उनका हमें पता चलता है फ्रॉम अर्ली क्लासिकल टेक्स्ट। प्लेटो ने अपने थिएटिसिस में कहा कि मिडवाइफ्स possess the ability to induce abortion in early stages of pregnancy. But Athens were completely against abortion. According to Athens, abortion was a crime against husband because the unborn child who was killed during abortion could have claimed the estate in case father died. Ancient Greeks also relied so much upon the herb called silphium as an abortifacient and contraceptive. Silphium जो herb थी वो बहुत ज्यादा सेंट्रल थी साइरेनियन इकोनॉमी में. They have embossed this picture on the coins. Aristotle said that the line between lawful and unlawful abortion will be marked by the fact of having sensation and being alive. Meaning is that we can only classify an abortion to be lawful and unlawful if we know that fetus is moving or showing any sensation, according to Aristotle. Also, the Stoics believe that fetus is plant-like in nature, and that's why they have morally accepted abortion. 19th सेंचुरी तक आते आते मेडिसिन के फील्ड में काफी एडवांसमेंट आ गई, सच एज इन सर्जरी, एनेस्थीसिया एंड सैनिटेशन. अब सोशल एटीट्यूड्स भी शिफ्ट हो रहे थे अबॉर्शन को लेकर के, एंड मोर वुमेन आर सिक्योरिंग एंड फाइटिंग फॉर देयर राइट टू अबॉर्शन. इसी सेम टाइम पर यूएस में अबॉर्टिफिकेशन की एडवर्टाइजिंग बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्टिव हो गई, जिसकी वजह से यूएस में एस्टिमेट लगाया गया ऑफ परफॉर्म्ड अबॉर्शन इन मिड 19th century and that came out to be 20% to 25% of all the pregnancies. Before 19th century, abortion जो भी लेडी सॉर्ट करती थी were either unmarried or the pregnancy was caused by any sexual abuse. But in between 1839 and 1880, 54 abortion cases were published in American Medical Journal, out of which half of the abortion जो लिया गया था that was by married women, and out of these half married women 60% had at least one child. There is no doubt that many feminists also oppose the abortion and this practice. And also in this newspaper called The Revolution, operated by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. In 1869, an anonymous writer stated, "We only mowing off the top of the noxious weed, while the root remains. No matter what the motive, love of ease or a desire to save from suffering, the unborn who has been killed was innocent, and the woman who is committing the deed is awfully guilty." Adding on to this, as we moved towards the end of the 19th century, abortion was legally restricted in almost every country. और इन legal restriction की sources क्या थे? They came from the imperial countries of Europe who had colonies outside their boundaries. Like Britain had colony in India and Pakistan and United States. And these laws were classified in 3 types, that is common law, civil law and Islamic law. 2004 में WHO ने एक रिसर्च कंडक्ट करी जिसमें सामने आए 6 मेन ग्राउंड्स ऑफ अबॉर्शन इन मोस्ट ऑफ द कंट्रीज. एंड व्हाट आर दीज 6 मेन ग्राउंड? एज यू कैन सी अपॉन योर स्क्रीन, नंबर 1 ground is the risk to life of mother. Number 2 ground is rape or sexual abuse. Number 3, if fetus is having any serious fetal anomaly. Number 4, the risk to physical and sometimes mental health of the women. Number 5 accounts for socio-economic reason, and number 6 to allow abortion on requests. And finding shows the countries having the more number of grounds permitted lesser the deaths. Globally, 25% pregnancies ended induced abortion between 2010 to 2014. और ये जो डाटा आया ये उन कंट्रीज का था जहां पर कंट्रासेप्टिव प्रेवलेंस काफी हाई था. Years and years after effective campaigning, now more and more women are defending the need for abortion as well as the right to safe and legal abortion. For many years, abortion right movements ने use किया term safe and legal abortion, but recently एक term बाहर निकल कर आया decriminalization of abortion. So what is this decriminalization of abortion? Let me explain it to you. Legalizing abortion means keeping abortion in the law in some form by identifying that how many grounds and on which ground it is allowed. लेकिन decriminalization की बात करें तो decriminalization का मतलब है abortion के अगेंस्ट जितने भी criminal sanctions हैं उनको हटा देना एक साथ. Means removing criminal sanctions against abortion altogether. And up to date, Canada एक only country है जिसमें एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट डिसीजन के थ्रू अबॉर्शन को डीक्रिमिनलाइज किया गया in the year 1988. Now, if we compare abortion laws around the globe, we can categorize it in three main categories. That is abortion being illegal, severely restricted, and the countries in which abortion is now secured as a right. So, if we talk about illegal, abortion remains illegal in almost 20 countries that are mostly in Africa, like El Salvador and Honduras and Nicaragua. If we talk about severely restricted countries, many countries allow abortion, but notably if the mother's life is in danger. And such countries include Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Libya, Myanmar, Sudan, Iraq, Syria, Uganda, Venezuela, and Yemen. And as you can see upon your screen, there is a chart showing the easing and restricting of abortion law up to these so many years. In the first line, we can clearly see the country named Sao Tome and Principe and Nepal. In this country, abortion laws जो move किए हैं from being prohibited to allow abortion on request. Below that, we can see Benin and Ireland and Argentina, Colombia, from allowing abortion to preserve health and now allowing abortion on request. As we can see in US has restricted its access from allowing it on request to now only to preserve the health. And Nicaragua has almost banned abortion conditions. Let me take you to the next chart. That is a world map showing different colors in the countries, depicting different gestational limits, different abortion laws. If we talk about Northern America, we can see here the different shades of blue, showing the different gestational limit on which abortion is allowed in these countries. Focusing on India, we can see India in a bright green color, allowing abortion and restricting abortion if women's life is in danger or her health or pregnancy is caused by any rape or sexual abuse, there is any fetal impairment, socio-economic factor, and etc. If we talk about abortion being illegal, we can clearly see there are so many countries showing black color and so on. China is showing a dark purple color, showing that abortion is legal, but the gestational limit is not clear. If we talk about Britain particularly, so Britain has legalized abortion in 1967 by passing an act of parliament which allowed legal abortion on number of grounds. If there is any risk to physical and mental health of the women, or the pregnancy was caused by rape or sexual abuse until 28 weeks. सोवियत यूनियन की बात करें तो सोवियत यूनियन ऐसा फर्स्ट कंट्री था जिसने 1920 में अबॉर्शन को अलाउ किया, लीगलाइज किया, एंड 21 अक्टूबर 2011 में रशियन पार्लियामेंट ने अबॉर्शन को रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर दिया फर्स्ट 12 वीक्स ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी. Coming to China, one of the most populated country. China liberalized its abortion law is 1950 because to curb the population growth by restricting the family to one child. 2060 में अपनी वन चाइल्ड पॉलिसी को चाइना ने कन्वर्ट कर दिया टू चाइल्ड पॉलिसी में टू encourage population growth amid a rapidly aging population. In 2021, it increased the limit to 3 children. And along with this, China State Council issued guidelines that instructed women to reduce non-medically necessary abortion. Now coming to our own nation, India. India में abortion पर से ban 1971 में हटा with the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, in which abortion was allowed up to 20 weeks. But still, activists further seek including of abortion because of fetal anomaly and in case of rape. So this was taken in 2021 amendment. In 2021, last year, abortion laws were amended in India, now allowing women to terminate pregnancy at 20 weeks. और 20 से 24 वीक्स के बीच में किसी भी women को abortion perform करने के लिए 2 डॉक्टर्स के अप्रूवमेंट चाहिए. After 24 weeks, abortions are only allowed if women's life is at risk. Women can now terminate unwanted pregnancy caused by contraceptive failure regardless of their marital status. Before this 2021 amendment, this right was only given to married couple. And related to this, I have added an interesting case study that we are going to discuss further. If we talk about Egypt, Egypt has very strict laws on the book for 85 years, derived from French Penal Code of colonial era. The women and doctors face imprisonment if convicted. In Africa allow abortion on choice on termination of pregnancy act, but only 10 countries have legalized abortion out of 54 African countries. That is so unacceptable. Now, if we have talked about the laws, but इन laws को बनाने के लिए भी कुछ ना कुछ मूवमेंट, कुछ ना कुछ इनपुट बहुत लोगों ने डाला, जिस वजह से आज हमारे पास इतने अच्छे लॉज आ सके. तो इन लॉ के लिए, इनको कर्ब करने के लिए जो भी हमारे मूवमेंट्स थे, लेट अस डिस्कस देम. In Britain, the movement to liberalize abortion started in between 1920s and 30s. Maria Stopes in England has succeeded in bringing the issue into open. In 1929, the Infant Life Preservation Act was passed in Britain that allows abortion if it was performed in good faith and for the sole purpose of preserving the life of the woman. Stella Brownlee, who is a leading birth control campaigner, 1929 में she brought forward her lecture, The Right to Abortion, in front of World Sexual Reform Congress in London. Abortion Law Reform Association continued its campaigning after Second World War, and John Peel chaired the committee advising the British government that on what became the Abortion Act of 1967. This accounts for the history of Britain. If we talk about US, in the United States, 2 women died of obtaining illegal abortion, and their photos became the symbol of abortion right movement. 1960s में Naral Pro-Choice America was formed, in particular year of 1969, to oppose restriction on abortion and expand access to abortion. From 1970s, its second wave फैली feminism की across the Europe that talked about abortion and reproductive rights of women. और इस वेव में बहुत सारे कंट्रीज ने एक साथ आकर women right के लिए बात करी. कंट्रीज कौन कौन से थे? यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, कनाडा, नीदरलैंड, ब्रिटेन, नॉर्वे, फ्रांस, जर्मनी एंड इटली. 2015 में a movement called Shout Your Abortion was done, in which women were called forward to speak about their abortions. Now coming to Asia, Between 2010 to 2014, 36 million abortions performed हुए एशिया में. Out of these, 16 million abortion were in particularly India and 13 million abortion in China alone. If we talk about the records, so Asia में 27% pregnancy and हुई abortion में. And this could be possible because of the Asia Safe Abortion Partnership formed and to access safe and legal abortion. ASAP has members spread across 20 countries that promote women's movement for abortion, laws and access since 1951. Now let me take you to the case studies. This is going to be interesting. So if we talk about Miss X, so Miss X is 26-year-old unmarried woman who is 24 weeks pregnant. She got pregnant with the consensual sex with her partner, and who the partner denied to marry her after a particular period of time when she was around 21 or 22 weeks pregnant. She appealed Delhi High Court to allow her to terminate pregnancy at 22 weeks, but Delhi High Court denied her plea. Delhi High Court ने कहा that she got pregnant out of wedlock and she has appeared too late for termination. जिसकी वजह से ये मिस एक्स हताश होकर अपनी रिक्वेस्ट लेकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास गई और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जो बेंच थी was led by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, who criticized the lower bench, saying the women's right to reproductive choice is an inseparable part of her personal liberty under Article 21 of Constitution, and she has a sacrosanct right to bodily integrity. There is no doubt that a woman's right to make reproductive choices is also a dimension of personal liberty. The court said forcing a woman to continue with her pregnancy would not only be a violation of her bodily integrity but also aggravate her mental traumas. और इसके बाद दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंसेज को स्ट्रिक्ट रेस्ट्रिक्शन दिए कि जितनी जल्दी हो सके इस विमेन का अबॉर्शन किया जाए और इफ पॉसिबल देन सेव द फीटस who is 24 to 25 weeks have developed so much. Now, this is the record I have found on internet and from sources. But what is the opinion of people? लोगों का ओपिनियन क्या है इस बारे में? तो लोगों का ओपिनियन जानने के लिए एक सर्वे कंडक्ट किया गया जिसमें क्वेश्चनर्स को आगे भेजा गया जिसके में हमारे पास 75 रिस्पॉन्सेज आए एंड दीज रिस्पॉन्सेज वर फ्रॉम कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स of 4 to 5 different colleges. So इसमें questions क्या थे? The questions were there were 3 questions to be asked about their views on legalizing or what if abortion was illegal in our country. So this became so interesting. 70 out of these 75 responses, 66.7% जो थी वो हमारी फीमेल थी and 32% were male. So most of the people believe that abortion should be legal, saying that the right should be given to mother as it comes under her personal liberty. At the same time, they supported their opinion by limiting abortion. They support the following restrictions when a pregnancy is causing harm to physical and mental health of the women. Pregnancy was caused by rape or sexual abuse, when mother's life is at risk or there is any serious fetal anomaly, as you can see upon your screen. And the restrictions are given right there along with the votes they secured. And you can see there are 53 votes if the pregnancy is a risk to physical and sometimes mental health of the woman. Around 8 people out of these 75 people said that abortion should be illegal except when mother's life is at risk. And our youth definitely believe that banning abortion can never be a good step towards development like United States. Women who are opting to abort child should know that they are killing a life and they are responsible for it. And abortion should be legal but must have some restriction at the same time. And I strongly believe in the above opinion of the people. As abortion comes under personal liberty of a woman, hence must be legalized under certain circumstances so as to protect women's rights and morals of the society. I believe abortion saves lives that we all deserve that right to decide if we want to carry a child or not. I could not imagine being forced to carry a child I did not want. That would be an attack on human rights. I wouldn't want to live in a world where that is forced upon us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lakshita Sharma. Really an amazing talk. The boldly you speak about your views and the survey you've done really put the cherry on the cake. So now we've moved to our next part of the talk, that is question answer round. So the very first question is asked by Ms. Manvi Saraswat. She has asked, what could be the reason, according to you, that why girls still consider talking about abortion a taboo topic? Why you think कि girls still consider कि abortion के बारे में बात करना is still a taboo topic? You are on mute, Lakshita. Unmute yourself.
मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं आज भी हमारे अबॉर्शन के राइट्स, विमेन्स के अबॉर्शन के राइट्स को दबाया जाता है to restricting them and in certain circumstances, and that can be dangerous sometimes to mental health of a woman. So I think it's a topic of discussion that should be discussed as more as possible, as much as possible, and we should talk about abortion on a global level, not only to ourselves but on a global level.
Thank you so much, Lakshita. The next question is by Ms. Archana Bharti. She has asked, there are many women who do not want to raise a child. Do you think this can also count as a reason for an abortion?
Yeah, I totally believe that, because if a woman is not wanting to bring up a child, she could have used contraceptive. If the pregnancy is caused by the failure of contraceptive, then she definitely deserves an abortion. That abortion should be provided to her in that case.
Thank you so much. The next question is by Mr. Ayush Raj. Mr. Ayush, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question directly. Okay, I think we've done with the question answer round. The one question is from our side, from GSTS. Like, Lakshita, what is your experience from GSTS talk, the talk that you have given, the research you have done, the time you've spent with our team? What is your experience about it? Kindly share it with us.
So the experience I have got is very, very much high. And I think that the team is incredible. Working with them is a very good time. And I get to know about so many important points that I have never known. And if I haven't enrolled for this talk, I don't think that I could have ever known that those topics. So I think it's an incredible and commendable journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lakshita. Now it's time to call our guest of honor, Ms. Uma ma'am. Ma'am, kindly share your experience about the topic, about the event and the talk. Over to you, ma'am.
Such an interesting topic. Thank you so much. I was so eager to speak about it. But before that, I would like to congratulate all of you, entire team of students first. Faculty will come later on. The way you organize, and this is the 81st, I think it is the series which you are conducting today. It's marvelous. It is unique, I should say. You have included almost all the universities of India. You have included almost all the streams also, apart from all, and then across all the states. This is, I think, unique program that such a society with the collaboration of IQAC that has started. So I congratulate the entire team of faculty. Dr. DNC sir, Dr. Pramod Kumar sir, Dr. Manish Karnwar, entire team of the students, the way they have organized and the way they reached to 81 cities. That's marvelous. I should congratulate. And the unique thing is also about your journal, the continuity, journal of continuity and change. I can see all colorful pages, all articles, almost all areas are covered. The way you people are moving ahead, my best wishes, and I hope you will sell and you will do very well. You will reach to the century level, what I feel.